Hey, what's good, everyone? Local Ice Man here. Going to do another viewer request video from a viewer named DMoney. DMoney asked if I could do a quick backroom tour of the Zamboni area in the compressor room. I know I've featured the back room here and the compressor room in different videos, but I guess I've never really done an official tour of both of them. So here we go. I'm here doing some weed whacking and mowing at the Plex here. They've had me at the park lately doing a lot of mowing, weed whacking, and starting to lay out some soccer lines. Starting to get a little bit busy here, so things look like we may start opening up here soon. That's another reason why I came in. I guess we got a date where we're going to put the ice in, so we're going to talk about that. So here you go, basic backroom tour of the Sportsplex here, and this is a pretty basic setup. I don't know, I haven't worked at a bunch of different rinks. I've seen a few rinks, and I guess in real life and on TV and stuff, the interweb. But this rink is pretty basic here, and I guess one thing I like about it is the fact that we could get on and off the ice pretty quickly and easily. We're not going around corners or in between bleachers or down hallways and things like that. Get on and off the ice pretty easily here. We don't have a dump tank. I wish we had well, on the machine I guess we do, but we don't have a dump pit. It'd be nice if we had a dump pit. I guess, I don't know, speaking that. The guy got the place built, so you know, you can knock him about things that he could have done, but he got the place built, so here we are, here we're at. So we don't have a snow pit. We dump our snow outside. We used to have a tank hooked to the system. That's kind of what these pipes are for. They're kind of hooked into the heat recovery system, but it really took too much heat away from the system. We couldn't really melt snow and because we heat our hot water, and that's a video I've done on in the refrigeration room, how we heat our hot water here. We heat our hot water through the refrigeration system here. Might as well start part of the tour in here. And I'll go ahead and link the description and whatever you can put here in the boxes. The heat recovery system video I did, as well as the startup video on the refrigeration system. So I don't really want to go a whole lot in here, because I think that if I want to go do a detailed video on what's going on here, I want the refrigeration guy here with me so you can kind of point things out. So one day I'm going to do a video on our refrigeration system, and probably be a nice time to do it when it's nice and quiet. So, but I don't know. We got 4. I don't even want to say how many horsepower compressors they are. I just don't remember, but I know they're reciprocating compressors. So I'm not going to get into the whole details of the refrigeration system, but that's our heat recovery system. That's a storage tank, and that storage tank hooks right here to the hot water heater. And that hot water heater, you know, water going into the hot water is preheated through this hose right here. Film the Zamboni right there. So again, I'll do a subsequent video on the refrigeration room, and I mean, you can just tons of videos out there on how refrigeration systems work, and this is really nothing special. But I don't really want to get to it right now. I'll say right here, this is the sprinkler system right here. We got the ice side right there, that little blue one right there, and this one right here is the soccer side. I know this one like the back of my hand, because soccer balls hit the pipes all the time, and I kind of just learned how to reset it versus calling the guys. It gets inspected every year. Again, I did a video on that, I guess. Now I'm kind of thinking about it, so I'll link up there in the description. We have a little blade rack right there. Kind of made that years ago. Had some stairs I was making at my house, and I had this long, I think they're like, God, 2x12s or 2x14. So made a blade rack that's kind of really nice to have. Have your blades sitting there, good to go, ready for you. We don't really have the lift here all the time. I'd say it's probably here, I don't know, 10-15% of the time throughout the year. If I have to do some work on the rink, or go over to change some light bulbs, or do whatever to do, we'll bring it over here. But it's better stored on the soccer side, a bit of storage area and stuff. I kind of like keeping the nets back here. I'll talk about that, because there's a little caveat to that. There's our edger right there. It was one thing I tried not to do. I try not to stack stuff on the Zamboni. I used to stack stuff on it and in the tank and stuff, but I try not to do that anymore. I try to get it so where the quickest way to get it on the ice if we need to. We don't really drive it 2 machines at once. It's just a backup machine. So if you ever have to bring it on the ice, I want to be able to slap a blade on it, warm it up, and you're good to go. So you'll see some stuff kind of behind it, you want to call it the hand trucks and stuff like that, but try not to stack too much stuff on it or around it. Just kind of keep it ready to go. Got some random parts over here, just kind of tools and knickknacks. And one thing we have over here is Zamboni parts. I got a big Benville Zamboni parts here. spare board brush and extension cords and kind of things like that. Got my plumbing parts right down here. I don't know, just gotta try to keep things somewhat clean and organized. It's not, I don't know, it's a little kind of discombobulated right now. I haven't really been here. I kind of been mostly at the soccer park. I don't know. Like, we're still really in summertime mode anyway. You usually wouldn't see this, you know, the rake and stuff over on this side. I usually store it on the other side. But when we're in the summertime, when we're using it more, I usually keep it on this side. It's a little nice and handy. What else can I tell you about this side over here? I got skate sharpener back here. This has kind of moved different places throughout the years. It's really been back here for the majority of the time I've been here. But when I started here, I was up in the pro shop, and that pro shop kind of changed into the office. And the office, they didn't really want a bunch of dust back there. As you can see, you know, the skate sharpener creates a lot of dust. You didn't really want it in the office area. So anyway, like, we brought over the skate room. And that's a question I have for you guys. Go and comment below about this. Like, it got moved over to skate. I moved it over to public skate area, the skate room. There's a skate sharpener in there. We have them side by side, but people are getting their hands on this stuff, and that's one thing I don't like. Is one thing I want to ask you guys, like do you guys have people coming in your rink saying like, hey man, I used to sharpen skates, can I sharpen my own skates? It's like no, like, I just don't get, like, you know, like, I get it, okay, ask me and I say no, but to sit there and harp on it and try to plead your case, it's like, dude, no, like, I don't want your hands on my equipment. Like, I just don't get. I mean, I could trust some people, but I don't know. I won't expect to go somewhere and be able to use some. You want to drive my Zamboni too? Like, I don't know. You used to drive the Zamboni 20 years ago. Like, so you want to do the ice before you skate too? Like, I don't know. I just don't really get it. But anyway, it was in the skate room, and again, people getting their hands on there, and I'm just really finicky about the positioner and diamond bit. You know what? You know, like. Yeah, you know, you could mess that wheel up all you want, you know, because I could slap a new one on there, but this diamond bit, it's expensive, and I hate having to readjust this thing. And oops, gotta talk about, damn. Oof. Anyway, you didn't see that, did you? So, but this diamond bit's pretty expensive. They wanted to just bounced off the concrete floor there. This could run like $40, $45, depending on if you get the premium or the standard one. I just don't like people in my equipment, changed equipment around, because they think that they know what's going on. I kind of like to have this one right here just for hockey skates and figure skates, because they're a thicker blade and just a little bit less having, you know, to readjust or retune it to another blade. It's not a huge deal, but it's just really nice to go in there and know that the positioner is kind of relatively set to where it needs to be. But anyway, it's not a skate sharpening video, but go and comment below. Like I said, like, do you let people sharpen their skates? Like, and that's another thing, we'll get into it. Like, you keep the tools over here, you know, screwdrivers and whatnot, but screwdrivers, hacksaw. I've had to hide the heat gun because people come back here all the time. They use, I get it, okay, you know, let me sit down here. I get it. Like, I want to be helpful. I want to offer a screwdriver and help someone if they have a helmet issue, or, you know, but people come here and they want to cut their stick down, and they want to tape their stick back here, and they want to use the heat gun. And, you know, I was all for that when I started here. Like, I was like, I had everything set up right here. Here's screwdrivers, here's, you know, the heat gun, got it all, you know, here's a, you know, station for you, man. Like, but then people just start leaving stuff everywhere. Like, if you could cut your stick, you know, there's a garbage can right there, man. Put your stick, the little end of the stick, put in the garbage. Like, put stuff away. People come back here all the time, wanting to use things, you know, like, I was really open to that, want to help people, but after a while, it's like, they just get into stuff, and they just shouldn't really be back here. Then things start going missing. It's like, no, not anymore. And I guess I'm kind of digressing here, but the point is that, do you guys let people come into your Zamboni area and use screwdrivers, hacksaws, the vise, the whole 9 yards, even though, like, that stuff is all relatively safe? Do you really let people, or do you have a station somewhere where people can cut sticks and use a heat gun? And again, I'll let someone use a screwdriver, you know, all day, every day. If they need, you know, loose helmet, or they need to, you know, maintenance on helmet, if they got skate that needs worked on, you know, we're all for that, you know, but I just don't want people back here doing it themselves. Like the rivet machine here, I've had to kind of hide the rivet box here. This is why all this stuff is in one box. I've had to hide this certain times of the year because people get in here, and I come in here in the morning and this stuff is just laid everywhere. It's like, I like things kind of neat and clean. Once you're done with it, put it back. You know, if you help yourself to a tool, put it back. If you cut your stick, you know, put your garbage away and put the stuff back. It's just, you know, courtesy, I guess. But anyway, go and comment below on how you guys' rinks deal with that, approach those issues of people coming to the rink wanting to do maintenance on your stick. And I think if you have a pro shop, that's where all that stuff would be done. And I know that's probably what the answers would be, the pro shop, but we don't really have a pro shop. The pro shop never really took on here because we're so close to the border. Much better deal. The dollar, American dollar goes a longer way in Canada, or at least it used to at certain times of the, you know, decade, I guess, as well as the internet. That's really hard to compete because we don't really have a huge volume here. But anyway, I know one thing I never really got into is the hockey nets. I started talking about the hockey nets. These are game nice nets. I don't like people using these nets. We have 4 other nets out there plus 2 sets of small nets. Ideally, I think I like to keep the nets that on or in the rink because these nets back here get pretty warm. You ever put a warm net on the ice? I mean, I've seen the ice shatter and stuff. So it's ideally, I like to keep the nets on either side here. Sorry, I haven't really turned any lights on yet. But we do keep a set of nets back here just to keep people from using them. If these nets were in the rink area, they'd be on the ice for stick and puck, and they'll put 10 sets of nets out there for stick and puck if there are 10 sets of nets at their disposal. So we kind of I just like to keep these things back here just so they don't go into the rotation very often. And these are the game nets, adult games, youth games. And the Blazers actually started using them even though they have their own nets. So, and I did a video on repainting these things. And as you can see, they're starting to chip away and stuff. I think powder coating is definitely the way to go if you can afford it. I think at this point right now, since they weren't used a whole lot, ideally, you know, money's really tight here with no business stuff. But what I would do is I go through and just kind of touch these things up right here and take my other set of nets over there that are garbage or the stick and puck nets, and I'll redo those things, make these things look nice, and just kind of rotate it that way. I don't know, ideally, but we're not really in an ideal situation right now. So, but anyway, this is our back room right here. I'm not sure what else I could show you. I mean, think here for a second. Like, we usually have the schedules right here, and I left the schedule right here. This is the schedule. I have usually the computer right there that has an electronic version of the schedule, but I kind of like the paper one right here. We put the ice rink right here, got the big turf field and the small turf field. And this is, you know, we're here July 20-something, 28th. And this is when we took the ice out. I just kind of kept that up there just for sentimental reasons. I'm not sure if I could add too much more to the conversation here. Hopefully, in D-Money, got you a tour of the back room here. And if you have any questions that I missed, you know, go and put them below. You guys know where to write them, right? And I'll do my best to answer them. And sorry if I don't answer comments right away. I don't really get notifications sometimes if I do get, I don't know, sometimes I get them right away and sometimes I don't. So I end up having to go look to see if I have any comments. So, and if I don't respond right, also because sometimes I want to respond in a thoughtful way. I just don't want to respond right away and be wrong, because I'm not the end all be all of ice maintenance in Zamboni. This is my job. I'm just trying to share some information I've gathered over years, and this is where we're at. So hopefully the next couple of videos will be me putting the ice in here soon. I think that we have a date we're going to set, and I want to do a couple more fun videos before we get into serious stuff again, if things do get serious again. But like I said, I don't think there's too much more I can add to the conversation here. That's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for watching. As always, hope you learned something. And like the local Iceman says, stay cool.